So today we're going to make some potato masala dosa. Yum! It's one of my favorite street foods, a typical Indian street food, but if you're a vegan and you want gluten-free options, this is just right for you. However, if you are craving a dosa, you probably have to plan ahead. You cannot just have instant gratification with this, unfortunately. So for the ingredients for the batter, which really is the thing that will take the longest, you need 2 cups of uncooked rice, a fourth cup of chana dal, 1/4 cup of urad dal, and a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds. This will help with the fermentation process. You need to soak this for at least 4 to 5 hours. After soaking it, and the longer the better. After soaking it, you're going to put it in the food processor and start grinding it up. You might want to put in a few ice cubes in there so your food processor doesn't get too heated. At first, it's going to look a little grainy. Make sure you do not throw away the water that the rice and the lentils soaked in, because you can use that, add it in a little bit at a time to keep the mixture getting smoother. You don't want it to be too runny, but slightly thicker than pancake batter. To it, you want to add a 1/4 cup of cooked rice as well. This will help make it slightly silkier. And then, of course, go ahead and do your final crushing and grinding, and you should end up with a smooth paste. Cover this up and put it in a warm place like an oven, like a oven that is not on. And then after 12 hours or overnight at least, you will find that it's become pretty thick, and so keep that reserved liquid and then add it and whip it up some more. Just before cooking, add the salt. Do not add the salt at the very beginning, otherwise it will hinder the fermentation process. So for the fillings, let's start with a tomato masala. And you can serve this on the side as well. As you can see, the ingredients are listed there. Basically, it's a can of tomatoes, curry leaves, and some spices. To it, you can add some sugar to sweeten it up a little bit, and 5 cloves of garlic. You'll start simmering this, and eventually all the ingredients and the seasonings are going to start softening up. Next, we will make the potato filling. The potato filling starts with 3 large potatoes, peeled, cubed, and boiled, and then to it you're going to add some onions, green chilies, cilantro, and seasonings like salt, cumin, and acidity with some lemon juice, amchur powder, and other seasonings as listed like coriander seeds and cumin seeds, and some turmeric. So to begin this, you are going to take your potatoes, boil them, and once they are tender, you can mash it up, trying to make sure that all big pieces are mashed and it's mostly an even mixture. Then heat some oil in a stove. To it, add all your seasonings, your coriander, cumin, red chili powder, salt, and your amchur powder, and your anardana. And to it, add your potato mix, the boiled potatoes. Start mixing it up. Since everything is cooked, this should not take long. And then at the very last, you're going to add in the onions and the green chilies. Let that cook a little bit more. If you feel the mixture needs a little more oil, you're welcome to add that at this point as well. And once you are happy, make sure that you squeeze some lemon juice on it and some crushed black pepper as well. It would be a good idea to taste the mixture to make sure that you can adjust the seasonings accordingly. I like to add some fresh red cubed onion at the very end, just for a little extra crunch. Make sure to make this tangy, so add at least half of a squeezed lemon, more if you feel it necessary. And then finally at the very end, go ahead and add the cilantro and the diced red onions, a little more lemon juice if needed. Mix it all together and your potato filling is essentially ready. This is also a great filling for samosas or parathas. Once you are ready to start making the dosas, make sure all your ingredients are ready and available close by, because the process goes fairly fast. You also want to keep some cold water nearby because dosas are temperature sensitive. If you cook the dosas on low heat, they're going to be softer. However, you want the pan to be super hot, but then just before putting the dosa batter in, put some cold water, wipe it off, and then put the batter on. I'm using 2 scoops and then gently swirling it around, starting from the inner side, inner circle, and moving out, so that you have a thin layer and it'll start cooking. For the dosa to be crisp, this is highly important that your stove is the flame is super high, but that you use the cold water to just cool down the surface just for a few seconds as you pour the batter in. This will ensure a crisp dosa. Dosas are also fairly forgiving, so you will have time to work. So after you're done swirling it, then you can go to your tomato paste batter, since we're making a masala dosa, and then just smear a couple of teaspoons of that all around the dosa. And after that, you can go ahead and put the potato filling on and just layer it. You'll start to see that the edges of the dosa are going to start turning or coming away from the pan and slightly turning brown. This will be an indication that the dosa is close to being cooked. Of course, you want to make sure that the dosa gets cooked evenly, so perhaps moving the pan so that all sides of the dosa get even heat would be a good strategy as well. So once you feel that the edges are coming off, you can gently pry it to see how golden brown it is from the underside, and then you are basically ready to roll it up. Serve your dosas with the tomato chutney or even some tamarind or imli chutney, or a coconut and mint chutney. Enjoy this delicious and healthy street food.